We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. So first, let me welcome everybody. My name is Dennis Velasco. I'm the founder and CEO of Prosperna. And joining me today are my other esteemed executives and leaders. Dennis Antolin, who is the co-founder of Eezi payroll software, and Marvin Galang, who's also the co-founder of JuanTax. Great to see everybody here from all different walks of life, from their traditional business owner for 20 years trying to get into e-commerce, like that, to other industries, online business manager, business owner, education. So I think it's great to get the Philippine community of business owners, leaders, and practitioners in their respective fields, because the world is changing extremely fast with the power of technology, not just AI alone. And I know that Marvin and Dennis, we all share a common mission, which is to help our country accelerate and move forward. So that's what today is going to be all about. And I've asked who I believe are some of the best in terms of best in class industry players in their category of software to come together and join me in this presentation today to help educate those like you who want to learn, who want to find a way to get their business to the next level or themselves, right? And find opportunities. So let's go ahead and jump in. And maybe if it's okay, just to give you guys an idea of the pace of our conversation today, I'm going to go ahead and kick us off and get us started. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the trends of how technology is impacting businesses here in the Philippines. And since we're going to start off with a lot of components of the conversation around technology and how it's empowering businesses to access new markets, improve their marketing and online sales, we're going to take the second part of our conversation today, and we're going to go to the opposite end of maybe the people side, and that's where the other Dennis will talk about what they're doing and what they see and hear from the HR and payroll side of the business. And then we'll save the best for the last. Marvin, right, who's been famous out there and not just helping bookkeepers and accountants, but really transforming accounting into the future, right? Because industries, sometimes the HR and payroll and the accounting parts or departments of a company, they tend to be behind the 8 ball, if you don't mind me saying, right, when it comes to adopting technology. But business is just moving too fast, and it's great to see you guys here, and hopefully everybody can see the impact that you guys are playing in the Philippines in your respective areas. Let's just get to the heart of the matter. I want us to start talking about why automation, why technology, and why AI is an important topic, no matter what you do in the organization. Let's talk a little bit about why automate with AI. So we did a lot of research before we started implementing AI. We did a lot of research before we started building Prosperna. When I moved to the Philippines 10 years ago from Silicon Valley, I didn't start building technology until after my first 2 years. I wanted to observe the market, try to identify and figure out what businesses are struggling with before we start building. So here's what I have found. Research shows that there are 7 major impacts of technology, automation, and in this data points, these are the impacts of AI, and not just small businesses around the world. This data is specifically from Global Data, the research company, their research on Philippine SMEs. It's really important all of us to recognize this massive undertow. Business is not just about the day-to-day blocking and tackling. It's about understanding the undertow of behavior that's happening around us. So here's what the research shows, is that even though AI at the consumer and commercial level has been only around for the last couple of years. Companies in the Philippines are already rapidly adapting AI, and they're seeing significant time savings around 40%. They're seeing up to 91% of increase of productivity. Companies are able to run their businesses much leaner with less staff. And yeah, that can be controversial, but these are the realities. Technology in the world is happening with or without us. The question is, what side of the coin do we want to be on? Companies are being able to achieve significantly higher profits by reducing costs. And then if you look at the bottom row, these three specific metrics are all around the marketing and sales side, because almost no company would exist unless you have some form of marketing and sales. Right? There's no product that's made, there's no service that's delivered unless you can effectively and consistently market and sell your products and services. And with the power of AI, companies are able to achieve up to 25% improvement on their marketing campaigns, significantly higher conversion rates, and they can accelerate their revenue growth. Look at this meeting right here. We have at least half a dozen AI note takers. The AI note taker has already doubled everybody's productivity on this call. Now you can engage at a much deeper level in the conversation, have deeper insights on the discussions without having to worry about taking notes. Before we move on, I'd love to hear about what you guys are experiencing. Do you have any comments? If any of you are implementing AI, what kind of results are you seeing in your entrepreneurial journey, in your business, or in your department? What's one thing that you've seen in the last 30 days help you in your business when it comes to AI?
For me, it's what I usually do for 1 month can be done in a day or even in an hour, just because of how advanced AI is. And with the AI agents, you can employ unlimited number of employees.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful claim. Dennis, as an entrepreneur and as a startup, my co-panelist, what do you hear from people in the HR and payroll field about impact of AI? Anything jump off the top of your head over this last month?
Well, I'm going to start with my development team at Eezi. So most of the tools or platforms that we're using are all, AI infused tools by big tech companies. So it really allows us to, move faster with our product development. And of course, ultimately adding value to the HR timekeeping and payroll process owners utilizing Eezi HR and payroll software.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one department, product development, software engineering is, it's amazing to see the change and what's possible when you empower smart people already with more powerful tools. And Marvin, I'm curious, what did you hear from your community about what they're experiencing in the accounting, bookkeeping, taxation space when it comes to AI?
Probably compared to other industries, the adoption of AI is in existence muna. It's well received. Of course, not without questions or hesitations, but still, especially on the side of the business leaders in the profession, in the accounting profession. The reason being is the supply of accountants is continuously challenged. I don't want to say it's not just about going down, whether students are less and less accounting students are there, but consistently challenged in a way where, hey, we have demand for supply of accountants that provide services locally, demand for supply of accountants that provide services to other countries, and hiring wise, it's tough.
Well, that's an interesting, consistent topic that both you, Dennis, and Marcus have in your own way expressed. Managing people is difficult. You might have a limited supply of talent. It doesn't matter if we're in the Philippines. We are also part of the talent war. There are other companies from abroad, possibly with a lot more money and resources, that hire talent from the Philippines, which makes a limited supply for whether it be accounting and bookkeeping, HR payroll, marketing. So significant impacts on the workforce. It sounds like also, Marvin, even though the accounting and bookkeeping field, as I humorously touted, was somewhat behind, it sounded like you said the word there, you guys are embracing AI. You hear a lot of people embracing it, but of course without question and research and doing their homework. So that's really interesting. Carlo in the chat had mentioned his students are using AI to make sense of their class notes. And I'll quote him here. I recently used AI to rapidly generate official documentation for a class project. It saved me an hour, which I use on my lesson planning. I use AI sometimes for that too. So yeah, there's a lot of talk, even the education space. So I think we'd all admit here that in my own words, and you might have heard this before in the past, but AI is just a much more significant force of technology. And I believe it's going to be the way electricity has disrupted humanity. So it's going to be a very interesting world that we live in moving forward. So all these reasons, as we transition into our topic today, again, we've broken out our conversations, starting off with Prosperna. How is AI can impact marketing and sales, online and payments? Then we're going to shift into HR and payroll and the accounting and bookkeeping space. But that's the reason why these metrics, these kinds of conversations, working with business owners, that's the reason why we created Max AI, our own AI agent inside of Prosperna to help our Philippine businesses. Now, I'm not sure how many people might have heard about Prosperna, but just to give you a little bit of a background. So we are on a huge mission to empower 1 million Philippine small to medium-sized businesses with their own online store. Other people call it a web store, storefront, but their online store can be connected to multiple channels: Facebook, Instagram, Shopee, Lazada, Grab, whatever the case might be, so that their business can be found everywhere by their customers. And if you don't have the ability to have integrated seamless payments and shipping, there really is no digital commerce. So we're the fastest way to help empower and onboard businesses so that they create one account, have one sign up, and have access to payments and shipping without a lot of paperwork, without a lot of waiting, without a lot of hoops. They can have everything that they need. And earlier this year, we launched Max AI to empower not just having your online store, but to do the digital marketing. So what's happening in the world of the Philippines in e-commerce and online payments and shipping? We already know what happened in the pandemic. We won't go that far back. But even after the pandemic, e-commerce, payments, on-demand shipping, digital enablement has continued to grow at a double-digit growth rate. The recent reports from Statista has shown that the e-commerce annual compound growth rate here in the Philippines alone is growing double digits, over 13%. And it's already going to be 2026, ladies and gentlemen, in the next couple of months. So in a rapid pace of the next 2 years, it will grow to over 2 trillion pesos. This represents everybody's opportunity on this call. This represents an unlock for the socioeconomic environment of our country. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, but despite all of the economic turmoil, despite any political strife, I won't get into the details of it, but we all know what's happening. It's not just the Philippines, but everywhere. What else is there? What else can a business do to cut through the noise and move forward for their own success and their own livelihood? I'm here to claim that technology is the only unbiased tool, method, tactic, and strategy that we have that's in our control, that we can choose what to implement and how to implement to achieve the goals that we set out to achieve. That's what's exciting about the Philippines. Here at Prosperna, we have benefited from that thanks to our amazing, super committed customers and partners. We are still a young company. In 2020, when we launched our platform, I didn't know anybody in the Philippines. Yes, I'm Filipino, but I never even took a day of Tagalog, even though I say marunong na ako. I didn't even have the Filipino channel growing up. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have batchmates here in the Philippines. We just came here with a mission and started building to help Philippine businesses. We started with 0 customers, and with the power of technology, in 2 years, we grew to 6,000 customers. And in 2025, we will end with well over 12,000 customers on the platform that we've been able to help make an impact on their business. And these over 12,000 companies on Prosperna, since we're still a privately held company, I don't disclose all the information, but we are delivering over double digits in millions of dollars of transactions, of volumes, that clients in F&B to fashion and apparel to pharma, to mom and pop shops, to your local neighborhood coffee shop. They are selling successfully in a single platform. So here's the thing though, we are still a long way from our goal of 1 million, but even getting to where we are today, we talk every day relentlessly. Even myself, I've been known to be on Reddit, answering chats, emails, calls. You'll randomly find me talking to customers everywhere. And the reason for that is we try to stay as close as we can. It's hard, but with using technology, we can stay close to the pulse of Philippine businesses. And what we found is, even though there's a lot of technology and tools like Prosperna, going online is still hard. But what's harder is implementing marketing, payments, fulfillment, customer service, and all the behind the scenes operations. But what's the specific problem? So here's what we've heard from over 12,000 customers on Prosperna. We consistently hear that platforms' primary options are from abroad, and they're 20, 25 years in advance, which is great, but we're just in the beginning. You hear the government talk about upskilling. It's because in many cases, this is the first time for many businesses to start taking online payments. So other platforms can be too complicated. They may not be fit for the local market, our policies, taxation, etc. And they're just way too expensive. The Philippines economic environment is on the rise, but it's nowhere near the economic scale of Western countries. And then when you look at marketing options, as we talked about, the war on talent, there is a lack of in-house talent, the upskilling as we discussed. And if you find a good agency, most of them are focused on supporting and servicing companies from abroad. Because let's face it, it's the reality. They pay higher. And sadly, we hear of a lot of horror stories. Freelancers can be good, but it's a trial and error. In order to find 3 good freelancers, you almost have to go through 10. Hopefully there's some really good, reliable freelancers here on this call. There are some good ones out there. It's just hard to find them. I'm curious if any of you have found any other challenges that I didn't mention. I'd love to hear what they are. We certainly hear of new ones every day, and we want to stay close to the pulse of the Philippine business community. So if there's any other challenges you guys are facing, it doesn't have to be in the Prosperna category. It could be HR, payroll, or accounting, whatever the case might be. We'd love to hear it. Because companies like Juan Accounting, companies like Eezi Payroll, companies like Prosperna, we're here to make our platforms built for Philippine businesses, affordable for the everyday SME. And with the power of AI, we can train the AI models to provide you with local insights that are in context of your world and our community and our environment. This year so far, we've launched 6 tools in one platform in Prosperna. And literally in the first few days, we had hundreds and thousands of Philippine SMEs messaging saying, oh my God, immediate impact. Marami na nakahanap yung business nila from some of our digital marketing AI tools. And that is just music to our ears. That means that the promise, not just of Prosperna technology, can be realized from every company, perhaps you, your department, your business, or your community. So before we jump into the software, because again, today's webinar is about showing you how AI can impact your company. I want to share with you a little bit of the vision of what's possible. What does the end result potentially look like for customers who use Prosperna? And then we're going to jump into the software, and I'm going to show you some real life examples of how AI is helping thousands of Philippine businesses in marketing, e-commerce, payments, and sales. Not sure if this brand is familiar to any of you, but if not, I'll tell you a little bit of the history. Baker J has, I think, 4 locations, and they're famous for the Philippines' largest croissant. They make a croissant that's literally about almost, it might be 2 feet wide. It's big. It's a family-sized croissant. So with 4 locations, they use Prosperna as a single online ordering platform where all their customers can order from. And they use the Prosperna mobile app so that all their orders get automatically routed intelligently to the store. So now management, leaders, department heads, and the business owner can run their business much more efficiently and provide much better customer experience so that fresh croissants made every day can be delivered to the homes of their customers. So it's been a fun ride with them. They've been working with us for at least 3 years. Some of the younger folks out there, or some of the in-style guys like Dennis from Eezi and Marcus, one of our young guys here. I don't know if you guys have heard of Bum Equipment. This company is an established brand for young adults, fashion and apparel brand. I think they have about over a dozen locations in a lot of the top malls. And now they've been able to leverage their investment in retail locations. As we all know, paying rent is high, it's expensive, and you have to be careful. But what they're able to do is create a flywheel. So everybody that visits their retail store that buys something, they give them a coupon with an expiration date and a promo code that says your next online order, you get 10%, 15%, 11% if it's November 11 for your next online order, and it expires next month. So they're able to create this flywheel effect so that their traditional and their online stores can work together to create that synergy. Now, those are some established brands. What I love about this one, Proya is a solo female entrepreneur. She started this brand of skincare for sensitive Filipina skin. I'll be honest with you, Marvin, this is my secret, right? Nobody knows how old I am, but I use Proya. I use all of our customers' products. I have to try it, right? Anyway, this is a fantastic product. I'm so happy that they became a Prosperna customer, but I'm even happier because I found their product. Talagang magaling. Anyway, solo female entrepreneur, super proud of her, doing fantastic on Instagram. And then once she was able to figure out her model on Instagram, then she realized I need to build my brand and take my brand to the next level. And she did that by creating her own online store. Here's another female entrepreneur story. This brand is two young female. They built this business in college. What started off as a college project, yung mga bazaar para sa mga schoolmates nila. I'm sure everybody has done that before. Sobrang successful. Now they decided to continue it. And even into this day, I think they've graduated siguro 5 years na. Now they've got their own brand, perfumes, bags, and fashion accessories, specifically targeting female college students. Aslet Gems, two sisters. Any foodies here? This story reminds me of all of the husband and wife foodie stories. This is a husband and wife homegrown business. Whenever my wife is out of town, ito yung go-to ko. Luckily, kasi my kids start complaining, "Oh, Dad, what's for dinner?" They have wonderfully fresh baby squid, mga masarap, mga gambas sa olive oil, and they make it so fresh in a jar and delivered fresh to your doorstep. Super good recipe. Premium olive oil. I think they're based somewhere in Ortigas. You should try them. Gourmet Delicio. Everything from this tita I met, she was looking for a side hustle, and she, of course, is the main chef for all of her family, and everybody loved her food. Then all of her friends said, "Oh, can you make for me?" And then all of a sudden, the neighborhood said, "Pwede pa order." You guys know stories like that. And she took the leap and said, there's got to be a better way. Kasi Viber, hirap mag-man palagi. And then kung hindi ka mabilis take yung order, then wala yung customer. So this way, she can give their store link to her customers, and the payment and the booking of the shipping in one checkout, tapos na. So all of these companies and companies like you guys with the power of Prosperna's Max AI, before companies, if they wanted to get a fancy logo, you'd have to pay at least 5,000 pesos. And the sky's the limit. You could pay 250,000, 500,000 pesos. I'm not going to say what the government pays for their logo, as we all know. And if you don't mind, it is the word that Filipino that I learned. It's a karakot, right? But they paid out the butt for their logo. And parang, oh my God, sino nagawa to? Now, we are able to deliver a professionally designed logo literally for less than 100 pesos. My God, you can change your logo every day kung gusto mo. Here are some other things that you can do with the Prosperna Max AI. We can help you write in literally a few clicks, compelling SEO optimized product descriptions. If there's one thing that stops a company from going online is nahirapan sila sa content. Mabilis yung design, mabilis yung setup. Pero you guys have heard the term, ay, sorry Dennis, nag-writer's block kami. Pwede next week. Ay, sorry, nag-busy kami, nag-out of town, may project, may bazaar. Or ay, sige, I'll try to get my niece or my nephew to do this part. Those are the things that stand in the way of you getting closer to that trillions of pesos that is going to be sold online. But what we did, what we believe is really cool, we said, okay, if we're going to create an AI and we gave it a personality, called it Max, then Max should be the best content writer, right? And a good content writer or a good in-house one, it's going to give a business owner, a department head, a manager choices. So in this example here, we're giving you, in every generation of product descriptions, we give you option A and option B. And you can regenerate and you can edit it as much as you want so that you can let AI do 80% of the work and you do the finishing touches to infuse yung branding and personality nyo. That's what we call the human in the loop. But now you can do it in seconds versus days, weeks, and months and excuses. Because people are buying online. Human behavior, consumer behavior is changing by the second. So you can create your own logo. You can have the AI write your product descriptions. And even this, how many of you have hired a photographer to do professional photos for you? I'm sure some of you may not want to admit it's not cheap. It's expensive. And it takes time. You have to coordinate. May studio pa, may editing pa. With the power of Max AI, we can help you remove the background. So you don't have to have a professional studio. Once you remove the background, you can take your product and you can place it anywhere you want. If you want an Eiffel Tower, if you want an airplane, you want a picture of mountains, you can place your product anywhere. And I'm sure many of you are, I think the Philippines, siguro, one of our things is selfie capital or pictures of food, right? So if you know how to use filters, you will know how to use the Max AI from Prosperna. So this is pretty cool. So imagine these first three AI tools, how fast it can now help you go online, how fast it can help you modify, react, and evolve your business, right? Because photos are important. People buy and eat with their eyes. But now we can also save you a lot of money. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. The real demo I'm going to share and show you guys is how we created a skills of Max AI to be able to design and develop the pages of your online store. Dennis, my co-panelist, the other Dennis, had mentioned how he's empowering his software developers with AI tools. Well, software developers, guys, and it's not cheap. I think the starting price without begging someone is in the average of 80,000 pesos. And of course, the sky's the limit. But now with AI that I'm going to demonstrate for you and no coding skills, no prompting skills, you can generate and design professional looking pages of your website. So once you create your website, then that's where our digital marketing AI capabilities come into play. You don't need a third-party separate tool inside of one platform. The AI will write your blogs. And again, similar to the product description generator, you can edit everything. Nothing is forever. You can always remove, change, edit, whatever your heart desires. But similar, as I stated, if you had a good expert content writer in-house, they should give you two options, version A, version B. That's what we do as well. We'll help you come up with the topics. We help you come up with the outline. We even help you not only write it, we help you create AI-powered images to complement the visual aesthetics of your blog. So some of you might be thinking, oh, why do I need a blog? Well, we all admitted and agreed, kanina, that the power of AI is growing so fast. What if I told you already we are getting over 20% of our customers from ChatGPT? They found Prosperna inside ChatGPT. In case some of you are wondering, how do you get your business found in ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Claude? You must generate content. Without content, ChatGPT, Perplexity would not exist. And where do they get that content? Here's my secret sauce to you. The three biggest contributors that ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude uses is number one, the internet, Google. So if you're not blogging, you're not going to be found on Google. Number two, They use Reddit because Reddit is a form of anonymous, real feedback of questions and answers. And the third place is Quora. It's another question and answer site. So if you want to get found inside ChatGPT and other LLMs, you have to commit to generating content. And so far, those other two platforms. After you got your site, we will also perform search engine optimization of your website. Again, what used to be very expensive, what used to be out of reach for every Philippine SME, what used to be every tito and tita's nightmare, ay, hindi ako techie. Ay, Dennis, hindi ko marunong anong SEO, parang alphabet soup yan. We're making it easy because in everyday language, the AI will do the SEO for you. Let's take a look how Prosperna's Max AI with no technology, no prompting skills. I'm going to go to the hard ones. In my opinion, honestly, yung mga iba, kayang-kaya, so easy. It is now because we implemented lots of work, lots of money in development. But the hardest part is building the designer and the developer. Are you guys ready to see it? Okay. As you can see, I'm going to pause this also. Oops. The one thing that we're doing on how we design Max AI is we created what's called here on the bottom, an AI prompt builder. Because imagine if an everyday marketing manager or marketing generalist or baka yung assistant nyo or a business owner, if you've never talked to a freelancer or a designer or even a developer, dapat marunong kayo mag-communicate. If you're not on the same language, pangit yung input, di pangit yung output. The same goes with AI. That's why there are dozens every day of yung mga online training na prompting skills na binibenta yung mga tao sa online. It's because you have to talk properly to the AI. Well, we decided we want to solve that problem. So we created an AI to build the prompt for you to give to AI. So what we're doing is we're walking you through step by step each section of a website. Oh, anong layout na gusto mo? Do you want this for your hero image? Do you want a specification and product description area? Anong gusto mo next? Product reviews, product gallery, customer related products, and FAQ. Lahat ng mga best practices na kailangan sa isang web page, we're going to walk you through step by step. And as you will see here, it will build the prompt for you. Then, let's see. Generate the page with website. Anong section? Anong accent color na gusto mo? Anong background color? If you can see on the bottom, nag-build yung prompt. Di gusto mo shadowing effects? Anong font style? Anong size ng font? In your hero section, ilan ba yung columns? By doing this, mas mabilis yung output. So in literally seconds, naka-website page ka na. Then, you can view it and you can start adding ano pang sections na gusto mo. Right? Yan, gusto mo product description, product specifications, key features, what makes the product unique. This is the marketing copy that you would, in the past, spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of pesos to get done. Or it'll take you hours and weeks and hindi matatapos yung website nyo. Right? We're removing those obstacles. Yeah, may product gallery na. You can, of course, get AI generated images or you can use your own product images. Let's put some customer reviews to get some social proof. Of course, we're just building the section. You need to put some real reviews in there. Now let's try to cross-sell and upsell other related products. Yeah, ito yung mga perfect pairings sa hamburger mo. Okay, let's put frequently asked questions. This is one of the most important sections that's fueling your business to get found on ChatGPT. Yung mga FAQ sections sa mga pages. This is where the answers come from in ChatGPT, guys. And yeah, you're basically done. Yan na yung web page mo. So imagine literally in less than 90 seconds, magdesign ng professional website mo. All right, guys. We're nearing the end of my presentation. And before we get to the HR payroll and then finally the accounting and bookkeeping, in case some of you are ready to take your business to the next level, our team is always here. We do have humans behind the company. Don't worry. But I'll give you a little idea on what the Prosperna platform involves. So we have 4 subscription plans. The great news is on our mission to empower 1 million Philippine SMEs, we have a free forever plan. And I'm giving you free AI credits. So you can get started, you can put us to the test, get started and see how it works for your company. You can sell both physical and digital products. So not just food, you can sell training, courses, templates. We have some English tutors selling online. They're tutoring tutorials and after school sessions. And then once you graduate and are looking for more advanced functionality, then as little as 495 pesos, you have advanced features. And we give you more and more credits, as you can see. Last but not least, if some of you are inspired and encouraged to give it a try, we welcome you. Here's a QR code to scan that you can create your account, or you can use this link. Go to prosperna.com/create account, and you can get started with your free AI-powered online store, payments, and shipping platform. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for your time. I'm going to see if there's any questions. See Carlo, his question. Can AI do video editing yet? Phenomenal question. Bella from our marketing department, she would say yes. If you go to the Prosperna YouTube channel, Carlo, I want you to give some feedback on the AI. I have created an AI avatar myself, and we're using other AI avatars. I'm curious if you can differentiate what's the real Dennis versus the AI avatar Dennis. We absolutely use AI. We decide which parts to use it. Sir Dennis, is Prosperna's AI safe and secure for business data? Yes, it is. If we do not, number one, make our AI safe, then we will not be in business for very long. We are an Amazon partner, and we store and generate AI on our servers without training other third-party LLMs. And we also have this inside our terms of service. So it's important that whether it's us or anybody you use, those are the 3 very basic questions. Is your data used to train other third-party LLMs? No. Number 2, what are your terms of service? And then those 2 things is what's going to be the money. That's where you need to put your money where your mouth is, as I say. But let me go ahead and turn over the stage. Dennis, if you could prepare your presentation and share your screen. And we're excited to see how AI is impacting your world of HR and payroll.
Okay, thank you, Dennis V. First off, thank you, Dennis, for organizing this AI webinar collaboration between Prosperna and JuanTax and of course Eezi. And also, I'd like to acknowledge a few of our clients at Eezi. So I think they're able to attend as well. And I was looking at the chat. Looks like we have several business owners, HR, timekeeping, and payroll process owners joining this call as well. All right, so automate your entire business with AI. And Eezee's tagline has been HR and payroll the easy way. Since day one, we've been aiming to really simplify HR and payroll processing for our clients. And just to give you an overview about or the discussion points that I'm going to try to encapsulate in 20 minutes, share some background information about Eezi briefly, and then AI application and benefits with existing HR and payroll tools. Of course, AI application and benefits for your business goals, very imperative. And then near term to mid term plans of Eezi with AI integration. So I'm going to share that as well. All right, so just to give you a snapshot about Eezi, we've been in software development business for 20 plus years now. I'm referring to the parent company. So this is the parent company. We've been doing software development for offshore clients in the last 20 years, US, UK, Australian clients. Last few years, we've been doing some project relative to AI training and data labeling, also with some offshore clients. I partnered with a CTO co-founder or Chief Technology Officer, Dan. He's actually based in the States, but he's been running a software development company here in the Philippines for 20 years now. We have offices in Iloilo, Davao, and then Makati. On average, our developers, they have been with the company for 10 plus years now. Very strategic for this type of business. So we definitely want to sustain, product development, enhancement, innovation for our end user clients. And then if you wanted to learn more about the detailed features and functions of Eezi, you can check it on our website. So we have a page there wherein you can check the detailed features and functions, standard version at this point. Although from time to time, we're also releasing some software updates or release notes for our clients. Alongside the other in-house tools that we're trying to productize, Eezi is one of the first few tools that we're able to productize and monetize. So it's the local flagship software solution for the parent company, and we're offering it to micro, small, up to medium-sized businesses here in the Philippines, various industries. So we can pretty much cater different industries. So to date, we've already onboarded 100 plus local clients in just a few years. So Dennis was sharing about Secret Sauce. So in a bit, I'm going to share you as well how we're able to sort of accomplish it, especially during the pandemic, wherein we're able to onboard a few clients weekly. And with these clients, we're able to establish some feedback loops. And that really allowed us to further improve our software. One of the early adopters is Prosperna, actually. And some of the clients, some of the attendees of this webinar, they're also one of our early adopters. And we're able to really leverage their feedback. Now, let me talk a little bit about the software. Well, it's highly configurable. The configurations, we derive it from the client feedback, feedback of our internal teams. And of course, it's localized. For HR timekeeping and payroll solution, it's got to be localized if, you're in the Philippines. A bit tough to, deal with solution providers who will charge you for customization. One of the secret sauce is optimal UI UX. We've been aiming to always simplify the user interface to allow our users to have optimal user experience. So that's one. And then the free software trial. So in the Philippines, it's not common for solution providers, especially the traditional solution software providers, to offer free software trial. So my CTO co-founder, he has a lot of experience with Silicon Valley tech startups. Same with me. I mean, I got to work with. I was able to work with a couple of Silicon Valley tech startup a few years back, and they're really heavy on free software trial. They're heavy on feedback loops, and that really allowed us to increase our onboarding rate tremendously. And of course, on the part of the clients, that really allowed them to explore the standard features and functions of our solution. And we also allow them to experience our support services team or client-centered support services team. And then on the website, we also publish there some of the client testimonials of our clients relative to the actual software and the support services team. And lastly, by the way, if you wanted to avail the free software trial, you just check the website. We have a web form there. This also allows us to, scope out the clients if they're aligned with our solution. At this point, we still don't cater enterprise, but you can feel free to check the web form in our website for free trial. And then for the subscription plan options, we also published our pricing to allow our clients to factor in their budgetary consideration. You can simulate based on the headcount, and we have a couple of subscription plan options here. So that's Eezi. And then these are the problems that we're able to solve on behalf of our clients. So majority of them, when they're doing the manual processing of payroll or manual tracking of employer records. So there are situations where they have inaccurate recording and tracking of employee work hours and other records. And then salary computation, payment discrepancy is also common, resulting to labor disputes sometimes. And then, of course, it's not easy to prepare timekeeping and payroll reports if you're doing it manually. We're also able to add value to our clients in terms of them being able to quickly track schedules, holidays, overtime pays, leave credits, loans, and then instantly generate real-time reports, graphs for analysis. Also, they're able to manage and manage their employees and personnel with remote work setup using our employee portal via progressive web application with geofencing and geolocation. All right, so some user interface or screens from our first module, which is system settings. We have a default submodule here for multi-company setup. So if you have multi-branches, you can leverage this submodule. We don't charge for it, it's free of charge. And under the system settings, you can define your company policy, localized configuration. You can also check the available configurations. Employee 201, this is how it looks like. Where this house the employee data admin view. Employee portal, progressive web application. PWA is more next level than your typical or your native iOS or Android. So we have that as well. Employees will be allowed to view their payslips online. It'll be triggered whenever you generate payroll. Your employees can also view their loan summary using this tool. They can file request forms, leaves over time. So this employee portal, timekeeping module for the admin, attendance page, scheduling relative to the holidays, relative to the employee leaves, and then your payroll module, which will allow you to generate different types of payroll register, leave conversion, 13th month tax annualization, and the contract or offboarding. And then analytics dashboard, basically we just translated some information from the employee 201, timekeeping and payroll, and then created some graphs and charts for your upper management to review whenever you have Mancom. So that also comes as a standard module. And if you wanted to check a full system demo, we also published a few videos on our YouTube channel, plus full system demo and some quick tutorial videos for the configuration. These software reference materials, the user manual, the tutorial videos allowed us to really streamline our onboarding process implementation, so we don't charge for implementation and onboarding because we have optimal user manual and software tutorial videos. All right, so now how does these HR and payroll tools apply AI or embed AI into the different modules? So I'm going to show that to you as well. Not necessarily with AI, with Eezi at this point, but of course, near term and midterm, something that Eezi will definitely wanted to go full on. Yep. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah, actually, I just, might want to jump in here. The one thing I love, because again, we use GPC payroll software, and I've gone through a lot of payroll software, is I love that the employees can just request for leave and it goes through the workflow approval, because there's a lot of leaves because life is not easy in the Philippines. Maraming mangyari sa buhay.
Yeah, and
And
it's
so,
configurable. Yeah, any type of leaves they can configure or they can define. I mean, breakup leave, some of the millennials, they can also include it, or dating allowance. Those are the type of configurations that our clients are able to add.
yeah. And the other thing I like is the payroll reports by department, because as a business owner, understanding my payroll expense is extremely important too.
Yep, sorting, reporting, but definitely we'll come up with something more next level in the coming months with these AI tools. So later on, I'm going to show you how we're envisioning to include those.
Cool, cool. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, these are the common, or these are the classification of HR and payroll tools. So you have the HRIS, smaller version, HCM and HRMS for enterprise. Usually HRIS, or Human Resource Information System, target users, usually micro, small up to medium sized businesses. So one example is Eezi HR and payroll. For human capital management, bigger version of tool that covers hire to retire employee cycle. Some companies also call it human resource management system or HRMS, aimed at medium-sized businesses and enterprise. So you have Oracle Fusion, Workday, ADP, SAP, and HCM. So I think most of our audience here are falls under micro, small up to medium-sized businesses. So Eezi is sufficient for you guys at this point. Until Eezi becomes a unicorn and you guys become enterprise business. So Prosperna can become unicorn as well and JuanTax. No question. HRAS, HCM, and HRMS modules, I just had to show you the differences when it comes to the module lineup. For HRAS, like Eezi, we have the employee records or employee 201. We also have timekeeping module, payroll, localized for HRAS, and then reports and analytics. While for HCM and HRMS, you have the full hire to retire employee lifecycle, recruitment and onboarding, first stage, employee records, timekeeping and workforce management, workforce and learning management, and then payroll. Payroll, it can cater regional, global. If you wanted to localize the payroll of HCM and HRMS, you got to pay the functional and technical consultants of these big companies, big tech companies for customization so that they can configure software to align with your localized requirements. And then reports, analytics plus BI. So that's next level reporting as well for HCM and HRMS. How AI is applied and how it benefits these modules. So for recruitment, definitely it can streamline hiring and training. It reduces bias in screening, aligning the qualification of the employees with the JD. And for employer records, the repetitive tasks, clerical tasks, so we're able to mitigate that as well using some AI tools. So I was mentioning earlier for my development team, so relatively, it's easier for them to code or do QA testing with these AI tools for development. And then it will also increase your efficiency and productivity. Although with number two, there are situations wherein you need to streamline or downsize your employees doing these repetitive mundane tasks. So probably just have to upskill them and do AI prompting or other automation or upskill them with some automation tools if you don't want to weed them out. And then for timekeeping and workforce, next level capacity planning that can be accomplished. For performance learning management module, you have enhanced employee experience, which will also trigger employee engagement and retention. Predictive analysis, that's a given with all this next level reporting. And then for course and analytics, of course, for the executives, data-driven decision making. Dennis V already showed a lot of stats earlier. So that's actually where reports and analytics falls under. And now let's move on to your business goals plus AI application. So at the end of the day, we always wanted to revisit our North Star, and I'm referring to the business goals. Key business goals in chronological order. We usually start with the human capital engagement or our employees. We wanted to make sure that all of our team members or food soldiers, managers, they are engaged to do continuous product and service improvement. So in our case, for Eezi or Prosperna, it's a software and service, customer service. So we always figure out ways on how we can further improve the product and the service. And you need engaged employees to do that or qualified employees to do that. And if you're good with number one, number two, we can always realize client satisfaction and happiness, which will also lead to repeat clients or big order size, more referrals, brand ambassadors. And if we're good with one, two, and three, revenue generation will come in or product monetization is easier for the company. And then if we wanted to make sure that we're earning or the profit margin is really optimal, that we apply some cost efficiency measures. So all these automation tools, that's one of the goals of these tools, being able to or allowing companies to become more cost efficient. And then lastly, we definitely wanted to gain market share as an ultimate goal. Well, for Eezi, although we only wanted to offer Eezi here in the Philippines, but we definitely wanted to capture some market share from Sprout. We're able to get a lot of clients from Salarium. They're the top 1 and 2 market leaders. But when Salarium went offline, we're able to get significant number of clients from them as well. So at some point, we'll definitely go all out with Sprout with the help of JuanTax and Prosperna with this kind of webinars and roadshow. All right, so how AI is applied for business goals. So human capital management, so it reduces bias in screening and retention. It improves employee engagement. Admin operation for continuous product and improvements. It reduces mundane, repetitive tasks, predictive analytics, reporting, and then data-driven decision-making for executives, which should trigger client satisfaction and happiness. Revenue generation, Prosperna and OneTax will, or Prosperna already discussed it, how AI will benefit your company. OneTax later on will go in depth after this presentation. Cost efficiency, of course, cost savings. And then with Eezi, trying to infuse AI near term to mid term for our existing clients here in this call or potential future clients in this webinar. So we'd like to, well, the faster route for us is to do API integration for the other bigger modules or secondary modules. So these are the core modules: employer records, timekeeping, payroll, reports, analytics. So these are the must-haves for most of our existing clients. For the good to have, the recruitment app, something that eventually they can already, we'll come up with something similar to the e-commerce platform, add to cart. So secondary modules, they will be available via API integration. Our clients just need to pick the tools that they wanted to integrate, or if it's already an existing tool for them and it's available on our API integration options, then our clients will be able to do seamless integration via API. So for recruitment, so I'm referring to the job portals and recruitment software, ERP for employee records, timekeeping, of course, your productivity tools, workforce management software for performance management, learning management software. You can also integrate that in the future. And then for payroll, you wanted to cover more digital banks and accounting software. So I had an initial discussion with Marvin about one accounting software integration. We're already working on the integration with QuickBooks since we're also using QuickBooks, but definitely will increase our lineup of tools that can be integrated seamlessly with Eezi. And then for reports and analytics, we have BI software. All right, so if you wanted to avail the 14-day free software trial, either you go to our website and you scan this QR code. All right, so thank you guys. So let me know if you have any questions. Not
Good
enough.
stuff.
20 minutes, not enough.
Yeah, no, good stuff. There's a couple of questions here.
Sure.
How do you guys handle integration to banks for sending or disbursement of payroll?
It's in the near term integration pipeline. Not yet readily available. What's available right now is the bank file bank advice ready for uploading with the top 15 local banks. So it's just one two-step process. So direct
And
integration, yeah.
to be fair, I don't know. I mean, I didn't look at all the softwares out there, but I did look at a good number of them. Not a lot of them had that, but it is the previous software that we were using. I won't say the name, did have it. However, they went out of business, so that wasn't good. But
Yeah.
as a solution for everybody, what we do is we take the net payroll amount and we need to get these guys on a webinar. We use NextPay. And with NextPay, in one click, you can send the payroll out like an auto disbursement to almost every bank instead of sending it to them one by one.
Yeah, I had a couple of calls with them already. So yeah, hopefully it's something that we can fast track in terms of integration. So yeah, digital banks are the top priorities of Eezi when it comes to integration. Or we don't want to do the Salpay because it's
Yeah.
it's shady. So but yeah, digital banks it's on the pipeline. Near term should be able to do something about it for clients. We have a lot of BPO clients, so that's what they've been clamoring for. So we'll
Well,
definitely
the most important thing is just allow employees and business owners and managers to ensure that the payroll is correct, and it's just got to work. So that's the one thing that we like about Eezi. But thanks,
Yeah.
Dennis, for sharing
Sure.
with us your insights and a look into the future of where you guys are going. I look forward to it as one of your customers and partners. So why don't we get to our next presenter, Marvin Galang.
Hey, Dennis.
All right, buddy.
All right, automate your business. So I have you gave me 20 minutes, man, but I'll keep it short so we can go straight to Q&A. So hopefully we can interact more and get more questions from the audience. No, but before I start, I just want to give a short testimonial. I use Prosperna to sell this, and I know somebody bought it because of your AI. They bought the umbrella. It came with a car. So that's how powerful Prosperna is. AI is. But no, kidding aside, I love what you guys have done and looking forward to providing referrals and feedback to our to JuanTax's clients. We have a good number of clients also in the e-commerce space, so definitely I can see the value of them using Prosperna as far as their platform. Okay, so I'm here to talk about accounting, technology, AI in accounting, why it's important to be there, embrace it. We did talk about supply, in terms of supply of accountants, and why technology is stepping up. Technology is stepping up in order to address the supply challenge. I don't want to say issue, but it's always a challenge. We've gone through several challenges in as far as accounting industry is concerned, and we believe this is just one of them. And technology is right here to address them. Right here in front of you, you're seeing the evolution of that technology in accounting. So we started with ledgers, which is unfortunate because some of us are still using that. And then you had digital spreadsheets, which popular in the 80s, your Lotus 123, which eventually became Excel, which became the #1 accounting software in the world, Excel, up to today. Then you have desktop applications, the likes of QuickBooks Desktop, Peachtree during that time. That's around late 80s, early 90s. Which are no longer around. QuickBooks Desktop will no longer be supported, I believe, in a couple of years. So we already made that announcement. And then you have the cloud solutions popularized by a company that starts with the letter X, and of course QuickBooks also being in that space. No? But where will the future of accounting be? And this is the important discussion that we have, because I believe the future of accounting software is this. It's basically what you're seeing here, where it's chat. People are very much familiar with, or getting familiar with, talking to applications, talking to, whether they're LLMs or agents in the back end. But we're getting familiar with that for these chats to do something for us, diba? Generate something for us, eventually became super agents for us. But we're getting familiar with that. It is not going to be different when it comes to accounting. Let me share practical application and maybe even early use cases of this, because it's already existing now. In our case, in the Philippines, this is our primary challenge. Our compliance requirements is forcing us to not only record basic information about the transaction. If you do accounting, bookkeeping in some other countries, usually pangalan na lang yung hinihingi nila. Sino ba yung binayaran mo? Anong company ba yung pinagbilhan mo? In this case, it's Parade Concepts Corporation or Parade Concepts Corp. And obviously, syempre, amount, di ba? Kailan nangyari yung date, and then of course yung amount. So 600, subtotal lang to. So, but unfortunately in our country, this is not enough. So bukod sa pangalan, we have to get the address, we have to get the TIN number, we have to get the invoice number. So sir, yung invoice number hindi required in other countries? Actually, hindi. As long as you keep a copy of this document so that just in case you get audited, mapapakita mo. In our case, it is required, especially if you are VAT registered tax filer, because you have to comply with some data submission every quarter. So we need to step up in terms of recording. And as far as automation, yun yung siguro yung una nating in-address, no? A lot of businesses, but I can see a lot of us here are small business owners or professionals, freelancers, etc. So, but in our case, understanding the concept of how do I keep track of that in terms of bookkeeping. Second, how do I, use that in terms of tax compliance so I can address government's requirements? And then how do I complete yung tax compliance, diba? And those are the basic challenges that we are facing when it comes to accounting in our country. Actually, our history, and you're already seeing it here in the screen as far as the demo. So from that particular document, scanning, recording of the transaction, and then all the way to here, which is tax compliance. This is a basic form 0619E, which business owners need to pay, file and pay to the government twice in a quarter. So yung first month and second month. But the short history of our company is really solving this challenge. I'm an accountant by profession. I did not practice here. I encountered this same challenge. Somebody wants me to sign a tax return. And so that was my basic question. I was an auditor in the past. No? So I asked the basic question, what is the basis of the sales in this tax return? And sabi ng bookkeeper ko, sabi niya, sir, depende. So as a former auditor, parang ayaw mong tanggapin yun. Anong depende? Depende kung high tide, low tide. Depende kung magkano yung gusto mong bayaran. Hindi ko alam. And so that was immediately he said, we need to solve this. And the way to do that, at least as far as I'm concerned, is hopefully once I record this transaction, I don't want to see it again. It has to be there, be able to populate the way I saw it in other countries, be able to populate this tax return. Although sa kanila simple, halos isa or dalawang return. But apparently here, 11 returns from when we started, when we counted 11 tax forms. So I wanted to populate all those 11 tax forms, and I don't want to, handle it again. But that was the basic premise, and that's what we created when it comes to accounting and tax. No? Where will this go eventually as far as AI? Yung paggamit po nitong AI, saan pupunta? So tapos na tayo dun sa end-to-end in terms of automation. But where will this go eventually? Eventually, it will go through helping businesses, you guys, us, understand anong nangyayari doon sa data na nilagay natin dyan. And again, do we need a UI for that? Do we need really a software for that? Baka sa future, hindi na. The way we're seeing it now, and like these are again early use cases, is we're just talking to your data. Yung nilagay mo dyan, yung mga nandyan, basically do the analysis for us. In this particular case, it's a comparison of your current year versus last year. And the system does the breakdown and the analysis for us, for you guys. No? Ano pa yung basic application in the future of what this is? So kasi yun is basic. It can eventually go into deeper analytics and more on advisory. So in this particular case, what we're seeing here is I'm just putting some basic assumptions, no? Paano kaya kung yung benta ko ay 20% higher or 5% higher than last year? And yung gastos ko pareho pa rin or even tumaas, no? Ano kayang itsura ng operation ko next year? Because the data is there and the complexity and the ability of AI to use that together with your assumptions, it's allowing you also to look at your future. If you operate in that type of capacity, 5% increase, paano kung 10? Paano kung 20? What if babaan ko yung gastos ko? What if I remove, let's say, 20% of my expenses kasi ang dami kong gastos dito sa area na to? What will my operation, what will my financials look like? So that is where yung applications, the use of AI, these tools that you're seeing is both, currently the state of where it is now and where it will be in the future. Very, very near future. Magkakano po to? Total, binanggit na naman ni Dennis yung cost niya. No? So we start with free, especially for us here, SMEs, who are wondering, paano kaya to? Mahal kaya to? I would say probably 5 years ago, where players in this field are scarce, the cost of getting access to these types of tools, medyo mataas. No? But these days, this is really a basic realization for our clients na, grabe, mahal siguro yan. Actually, yan po yung price niyan. Merong libre, merong 2,000 for all those features that you're seeing. And then meron naman yung iba, yung medyo complex yung nire-require nila. But I'd say 95%. Especially the makeup of our business owners too, because 1 to 2% may the large taxpayers, the medium-sized businesses, it's probably just around 5%. And then you have the 90 to 94%, 95% of businesses really dun lang sa micro and small. And so that is the market we're trying to address. And so our pricing has to be there, has to stay there, has to address their needs. No? And I just want to take this opportunity because we'll make this announcement. You're going to be the first one to hear this, but we'll make the announcement. Anong nakukuha namin sa libre? So you're going to get all of those features in terms of unlimited transaction recording, whether sales or and expenses. You still have all the localization when it comes to Philippine accounting, yung withholding codes, VAT codes. No? But starting next week, we're announcing that we signed an integration with PayMongo. In our free plan, you can issue sales invoices. You can bill your clients, and in our free plan, you will be able to integrate PayMongo as our exclusive payment gateway partner for our users. You have to sign up with them, hindi po sa amin, but you have to have an account with PayMongo. And then if you do, then you go to one accounting in our free plan, put your PayMongo API there, and you can now start issuing invoices to your clients, and your clients will be able to pay you sa payment methods that you allow with your PayMongo platform, whether that's credit card, GCash payments, Maya payments, GrabPay, bank transfers, Union Bank BPI. And that's starting next week. How do you access? That's our website, one.ac. That is our Facebook page. Try it out, 14-day free trial. After the 14-day free trial, you don't lose your data. It becomes free. If you don't want to pay, it becomes free, and you can continuously use the accounting software. Free daw forever. No? So meron pa lang forever. Thanks, Dennis. Hopefully we can get into the Q&A.
Yeah, looks like big things are happening on all fronts, from e-commerce, marketing and sales, even the HR payroll world. And I'm gonna have to introduce you to my tita, who is getting tired of answering all my questions. She said, "Oh, Dennis, I love you, but I have to charge you now." You know. Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, it looks really powerful, right? And simple. I like that it's the black and white. But let's say if someone was on Excel or Google Sheet here, what do you recommend? How does somebody go from Excel to a software platform like this that's end to end? What's the first three things that they need to do? I don't even remember when I went to a software platform. It's just like I'm allergic to spreadsheets. So
You know, with hundreds, if not thousands of people that we interact with and then talk to, it all boils down to preference to us. Second is yung cost. Because there's still that understanding like, all right, I already paid for Excel. Actually, that was before. Kasi ngayon, yung Excel, it's no longer you have to pay for it once and wala na. It's Microsoft is already subscription. So you have to pay for it ongoing unless it's part of your business suite in a way. So it's really more of the preference and then yung perception that there's already paid for it. There's no cost in using this already. Nandun na siya. And without experiencing, somebody shared this with me, with us, you know, as far as change, dalawa lang daw yan makakapagbago. Unbearable pain and yung irresistible pleasure.
well, speaking of perception, I'm curious, has anybody ever asked you guys, or have you guys experienced internally at your companies, and this is a question for the entire audience as well, how do you handle employee fear, management fear of the change that AI will introduce?
Well, in our industry, obviously it's much talked about. And we always share the reality. It's not even a justification. It's not even a baseless explanation, but the reality that accountants is probably tough to replace. The steps and the workflow to get to a result where we can now face clients, yeah, AI is there. It's expediting. Before we process one invoice, OCR, one invoice every 1 minute or 2 minutes. Now we can do 100 every minute. So we can get there faster. But to deliver that message to a person, which is our client, still involves people. People who fear this are those who are not able to change themselves in a way where, hey, I'm used to just using my fingers in terms of accounting. The future is di na nga fingers, baka mouth na lang. To speak, to talk, to communicate, be able to explain what those numbers say in a way that, you know, your clients are able to accept. At least for us, that's how we address clients' concerns.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, because we're just like every other company. We have an accounting department. I won't say the amount of people that we need for our accounting and finance and data analysts team is significantly less. And I get the analysis at the snap of a finger versus waiting a week. I mean, investor reports, board reports. If I'm just wondering, I love the example that you gave of the what if scenarios. I mean, that's like, again, I was being funny because my tita does love me. But it's like me talking to my tita because she's a safe person I can talk to. I can confess all my accounting sins to her. What are others? Marcus turned his screen on. Marcus, do you have any thoughts on how employees, managers, and people are facing the fear of AI being introduced into their company or their role?
For me, I think the fear that they have is that it's like what you said earlier. Oh, masyadong techy. It's like that. And for me, if we can have like for example a very this for the AI na yung mga prompt lang, and then the AI will teach them how to the walkthrough through the products. I think that will solve the problem. So that for example, just like you, Sir Dennis, I also have my tita. I always call her even in the midnight, and then when I ask her, Tita, can you be our official accountant? What she's saying, oh no, I'm retired na. I don't want that anymore. And if you will ask me, because my tita is an accountant in BNG, if you will ask me to be an accountant here in the Philippines, I cannot do it anymore because I'm not familiar with the Philippines. And when I asked her, okay, tita, how about QuickBooks? Can you do it? Oh no, I'm not techy. I cannot understand that. I'm not oriented in that. So yeah, I think that's the fear that they have, the technology. But I know that they're more powerful than the technology right now. Accountants right now are just an average and parang lacking. So I think that's what challenges the accountants and the businesses to talagang fully jump into technology.
So we have a fellow bookkeeping consulting company. The comment was, in Eezi Book's point of view, we should not fear AI. Them, wouldn't be able to start Eezi Books without AI and Juan. That's actually great. There, you know how many people now can actually get started because of technology, whether it's AI or not. I think one of the things that's so amazing to see is the barriers of entry, the barriers of starting a company or a business is much lower. And let's remember, it was not that long ago in the Philippines that there was really no technology existing. Let's just say that the pandemic was the beginning. That's the reality of it, you know. Dennis, here's a question for you. Because I went through this question, and if someone was to use an HR or payroll software, do you need a full-time person to manage it?
So with Eezi, so far, with the 100 plus clients that we're able to onboard in the last few years, Eezi is really intuitive, user friendly. Even if you're not the most techy owner or process owner for HR timekeeping and payroll, you should be able to say micro company 1 to 2 days. You can complete your setup from company settings, employee tool one, timekeeping, and payroll. Because for most companies, they have dedicated person, especially for small to medium-sized business, they have dedicated person for timekeeping and then payroll. So yeah, 1, 2 process owners should be able to do it. But for micro companies, we have clients or in the business owner, the CEO, president, doing it like a one-man show. So they're able to do it by themselves. I would say, as far as Eezi is concerned, it's intuitive enough. We developed it pre-pandemic. UI is updated, upgraded. We had experience with legacy software, and with my CTO co-founder, that since day one, we committed to optimal UI UX. So we had vast experience as well with UI UX optimization. So I think we're able to somehow execute that well alongside our product development team. The short answer, very easy to set up. From free trial to the premium subscription experience is very seamless. Plus the support services, I would say we're getting a lot of good feedback. Software reference materials, tutorial videos, so those are also very helpful. Unlike other solution provider for HR timekeeping and payroll, they will do, hand-holding. They'll assign you functional technical consultants, which is also more expensive. So in our case, we removed that from the equation. So we've been really, trying to simplify the onboarding and implementation.
I'll give you my little personal experience. As you guys know, I run a very lean, mean, fighting
Yep.
machine. But in my opinion, you can run Eezi payroll without any problem, up to 50 employees with a part-time person. If you use Eezi and NextPay, no reason why you need more than a part-time person in payroll. None whatsoever. Unless you just want to. Then you could have your accounting team do the audit of it and the double checking. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
And as I move along, working with Marvin or exploring the integration option, we'll definitely cover more, fintech integration. I think Marvin will be able to also connect me with other players for integration with Eezi. But the must-have you were mentioning about, for as long as payroll is accurate, those are the must-haves for payroll. They have the employee to one-time keeping payroll. So the good to have, of course, the bank integration, accounting software integration. Some of our clients, they're starting to clamor for those. So that's actually our basis of our enhancement. So the more clients clamor for a particular integration or function, then we do it for free.
Cool. Couple questions here for our resident accounting guru, Marvin. Did you see those from Zachary? Marvin, do you want to expand on it so others can hear you? Or
First question, I think, is multi-user, multi-entities under one owner, one account. Definitely the answer is yes. You can set up multiple entities under your super admin, your admin account. So Zachary can have his account. He can set up several companies from there, and then he can provide access to different people in all companies, in a few companies, depending on his control and how he sees it. Okay, Marcus, I think more in the ORUS reporting. So ORUS, this is a BIR system, is used to submit reports, also registration. But this is outside of the monthly and the quarterly tax compliance that we generate and submit to the BIR. So ORUS reporting, I believe, handles yung books of accounts. This is a year-end compliance. You have to tell the BIR, here, we're done with our annual books. We do have books of accounts in one, but yung actual submission to ORUS, you have to do that yourself. We don't have an API that connects to the ORUS system of the BIR. Our access to BIR is primarily on the tax forms. And this is the monthly, quarterly submission, even the annual submission of the income tax forms to the BIR.
as you guys can see, hopefully you know that we've got some resident experts here to bring our community together. And there's another question. Does JuanTax Plus have financial health dashboards that show money in, out, sales, and other financial overviews of the company?
Currently, dashboard is, when you log in, you immediately see yung specific, yung money in, money out. That specific dashboard is there. You will see that. A lot of these financial overviews, in our point of view, can be prompted. So you can continuously ask that question in AI, and AI can provide all those financial health indicators to you with clear explanation why it got to that point, and hopefully you'd be able to.
That's a great question. So Marvin, do you think somebody, let's say there's a business owner in the call that, is familiar, has some good basic accounting knowledge. Can they set up your platform without the help of a bookkeeper, full-time accountant?
Short answer is yes. To us, the key to all these things is really a lot of mindset change. It's a lot of mindset change. When we talk about the use of one versus Excel, the use of JuanTax versus using EBIR or going through the government's tax software, it's a lot of mindset. This is much easier, simpler. And how do I change mindset? Nike, just do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Impossible is nothing. Adidas.
Just do it. Do it again tomorrow. Just continue using it. Prosperna, just try it. Go there, do it again. Ask somebody to help you push it, do it, try it. If you want, compare it with another software. And by doing that, you will realize, hey, I'm not an accountant, but I'm able to do this with this software. If I try this software, it's not as intuitive. I have to have a finance background in order to understand what it's telling me or what it's showing me. You will know the difference.
That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen in our audience, I want to recognize this is a great sign for our country. Any one of us, any one of our companies, even you guys can focus your business in other countries. But to have software companies like Eezi and Juan here focusing on the Philippines, this is really good news. As we come up to the end of the year, Marvin and Dennis, is there any key thoughts or any exciting news that you want us to be on the lookout for between now and the end of the year as we summarize our webinar today?
On my part with Eezi, we're really looking forward, and we wanted to move fast in the next couple of months with integration. We don't want to develop, secondary modules, so we'll just do the API integration route. There's a lot of other more optimal global regional solutions that can give us the recruitment module, performance management, learning management, accounting. So yeah, integration is just really our top priority in the next few months.
Yeah, I think that's right on track. Thanks for sharing, and we look forward to seeing what's happening Eezi side. Marvin, any big events? Or are we gonna go get invited to? Last time you guys threw a big party and we were all dancing on the stage.
Well, cross fingers, we are planning for another one next year. Early registration is very much welcome. But some people are saying, hey, you should do that every quarter. Kuya, hindi yan mura ha. Hindi kaya every quarter. Unless
Libre.
I can even follow the banner sa Viber group natin, and dami every metro city. So yeah, we'll hope be able to collaborate next time, hopefully next year. But yeah, looks good yung roadshow.
Yeah, currently we're doing road shows till the end of, actually it's already scheduled till January of next year. We're going to be in Cagayan de Oro next month, Naga, Davao, medyo na ano yung Davao because of the earthquakes, and some big events in November. But before we end, I'd like to thank Dennis for inviting me, Dennis V, thank you Dennis A, but guys, thank you for organizing this. There's no better time for our country than now in terms of tech, in terms of adoption, in terms of just the overall excitement on all of these things. No? And these are not, hindi siya hype. It's not a hype. There's actual practical use of these tools. It's no longer, wow, that was a good idea. The idea is now a reality, and it's much faster. The development is much faster, and the impact is much greater. No, so congratulations to Prosperna, Eezi for what you guys do. Thank you for the audience for being here, and really it's a sign as well that on a Wednesday afternoon where probably have much better things to do, but you guys stayed in this 2-hour discussion on AI and how this impacts all of us.
Medyo short notice lang, no? But yeah, in the future we'll try to advance our invites to Eezi clients, so we can have more audience. But yeah, very productive, good session.
Well, thanks to everybody in the audience. I mean, guys, hopefully you're all inspired by the leaders that we brought together here today. And these are the ones to watch and to follow. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Yes, Eezi, Juan, and Prosperna, we will all be on road shows. We'll be doing more. For us, it's all about education, awareness, and really helping Philippine SMEs reach their goals. And that way we can move our country forward despite all the noise around us.
Yep.
That's another
Absolutely.
webinar.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a great evening. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thanks,
Let's go to our
guys.
section.